In the deep expanse of space, the USS Horizon glided silently, its mission to explore and document uncharted territories. Captain Alara Miles stood at the helm, her gaze fixed on the star-speckled void ahead. The crew of the Horizon was a blend of seasoned astronauts and eager scientists, united by a common quest for discovery. "Captain, we're approaching the coordinates," Lieutenant Harrow announced, his voice cutting through the hum of the ship's engines. Alara nodded, her eyes narrowing slightly. These coordinates were special. An anonymous tip had led them here, promising something extraordinary. "Prepare to exit hyperspace. Let's see what's out there." With a soft lurch, the ship reverted to normal space. Before them lay a scene that was neither expected nor welcomed. A derelict spacecraft, of a make none of them recognized, floated aimlessly. It was scorched and battered, telling tales of cosmic battles long past. "Scan for life forms," Alara ordered, her voice steady despite the churn of curiosity and concern within her. The results came back quicker than she anticipated. "There's one life sign aboard, Captain. It's weak, but it's there." A decision hung in the air, heavy and urgent. "We're going in. Harrow, you're with me. Dr. Lin, get your medical kit ready. We might need it." The shuttle ride over was tense. The alien ship was larger up close, its hull pocked with meteor impacts and streaks of laser fire. They docked cautiously, and the airlock hissed as it formed a secure seal. Inside, the ship was a labyrinth of shadows and silence. Alara led her small team through corridors lined with foreign technology and eerie, pulsating lights. They found the life form in what appeared to be a medical bay, suspended in a stasis pod. It was an alien girl, her features delicate yet distinctly non-human. Her skin shimmered with a subtle luminescence, her eyes closed, her expression one of distress. Around the pod, other devices whirred and blinked, some clearly designed for experimentation. Dr. Lin examined the readings on the pod. "She's been through a lot. These are experimental devices, possibly for genetic or biological manipulation. It's not just unethical, it's barbaric." Alara's jaw tightened. "Can we free her?" "It's risky, but yes, I think we can. I need to stabilize her first." As Dr. Lin worked, Alara and Harrow secured the room, wary of any automated defenses the ship might still have operational. The silence was oppressive, the weight of the unknown pressing down on them. Finally, Dr. Lin nodded. "She's stable. We can move her to the shuttle." With utmost care, they transferred the alien girl to their shuttle. Her condition was fragile, and the journey back to the Horizon was fraught with silent prayers and anxious glances. Back aboard their ship, the alien girl was placed in the medical bay. Alara watched as she lay there, her chest rising and falling with slow, measured breaths. The girl was out of immediate danger, but many questions lingered. Who was she? What had been done to her? And perhaps most importantly, why? As the medical team continued their work, Alara turned to leave the bay, her mind racing. This discovery was more than a rescue. It was the beginning of a much larger story, one that might change the course of their mission and their lives forever. Outside the medical bay, the stars awaited their silent vigil. The depths of space both a shield and a witness to the unfolding drama within the USS Horizon. As the USS Horizon resumed its silent voyage, Captain Alara Miles convened an emergency meeting with her senior officers in the dim light of the conference room. The walls hummed softly, a constant reminder of the life support systems working tirelessly in the background. "The alien girl, what we've rescued, it's not just a matter of humanitarian effort," Alara began, her eyes scanning the faces around her. "The technology aboard that ship was advanced, beyond anything we've seen. It suggests a level of experimentation that could be dangerous if left unchecked." Dr. Lin, still in her lab coat, added, "Her physiology is remarkable. She has adaptations that seem artificially induced. It's like her body has been engineered to survive extreme conditions, possibly even the vacuum of space." Harrow, his face shadowed by concern, leaned forward. "There's another aspect we need to consider. The ship had no identifying marks, and it was heavily damaged. Whoever did this didn't want her found, or they were trying to hide from something. Or someone." The room fell silent as the gravity of the situation settled in. They were potentially meddling in affairs far beyond their original exploratory mission. "Options?" Ilara prompted, her tone demanding a strategic approach. "We could try to trace the origin of the ship's technology," suggested Ensign Thale, the ship's engineer. "Although the damage is extensive, there might be data we can recover that could tell us more about where this ship came from and who might be responsible." Ilara nodded. "Do it, and keep it quiet. Until we know more, this stays between us. The last thing we need is a panic on our hands." As the meeting disbanded, Ilara remained behind, staring out at the infinite starscape. Her thoughts were interrupted by a soft chime. Dr. Lin appeared on the holographic display. "Captain, you'll want to see this. She's waking up." Rushing to the medical bay, Ilara arrived just as the alien girl's luminescent eyes fluttered open. Her gaze was piercing, filled with an intelligence and depth that hinted at her possibly traumatic past. She spoke, her voice musical but laced with pain. "Where am I?" "You're safe," Ilara responded gently. "You're aboard the USS Horizon. We found you in distress and brought you here to help." The girl looked around slowly, taking in her surroundings with a wary curiosity. "My name is Nira. I thank you." Ilara offered a reassuring smile. "We're just glad we could help, Nira. Can you tell us what happened to you?" Nira's eyes clouded with fear, her body tensing. "I was taken by the Krelthar. They use beings like me for their experiments. They enhance us, change us, try to make us something we're not." Ilara's mind raced. The Krelthar, a name that sent ripples through the galactic intelligence networks, but was always spoken with caution. Known for their elusive nature and dangerous technology, they were a phantom race, rarely seen but often feared. "We'll do everything we can to protect you, Nira," Ilara promised, her voice firm with resolve, "and we'll get to the bottom of this." Nira's luminous eyes met Ilara's, a silent bond forming between them. A bond of trust and newfound allegiance, set against the backdrop of interstellar intrigues and the silent, whispering void of space that held secrets yet to be uncovered. In the quiet hours of the USS Horizon's night cycle, Captain Ilara Miles paced the length of her quarters. Each step was measured, echoing softly against the metal floor, her mind a storm of strategy and empathy. Nira's revelations about the Krelthar had given their mission a new, urgent trajectory. Ensign Thale's voice crackled through the comm, breaking the late-night silence. "Captain, you need to see this. I've managed to extract some data from the wreckage." In the ship's lab, Thale displayed the recovered data on a large screen, streams of alien code cascading down before stabilizing into a schematic of the galaxy. "This is a star map, and look here." He pointed to a sector marked with a series of cryptic symbols. "I believe this indicates the Krelthar's origin, or at least a region they frequently operate in." Ilara studied the map, her mind racing. "Prepare a recon drone. We need eyes on that sector." As the drone was dispatched, tension mounted aboard the Horizon. The crew was on edge, aware that each discovery brought them closer to a potentially hostile civilization. Meanwhile, in the medical bay, Nira grew stronger under Dr. Lin's care. Her unique physiology had begun to adapt to the environment aboard the Horizon, each day bringing new revelations about her capabilities and the extent of her modifications. "Your cellular structure is unlike anything we've seen," Dr. Lin marveled during one of their sessions. "It's as if you were designed to withstand extreme stress, both physical and environmental." Nira's face was pensive as she replied, "The Krelthar don't create without purpose. They wanted their subjects to survive where others couldn't." This information was crucial. Ilara realized that understanding Nira's modifications could offer insights into Krelthar technologies and intentions. It also raised ethical questions about the use of such advanced biotechnology. The drone's data began streaming in, real-time images of distant galaxies and unknown stars filling the screens in the control room. Suddenly, a cluster of artificial structures appeared amidst a barren system. It was a complex of massive proportions, possibly a military outpost or a research facility. "This must be it," Ilara whispered, her gaze fixed on the screen. The structures were sleek and menacing, surrounded by patrolling ships that bore a striking resemblance to the one they had found Naira in. "We need a plan," she declared, turning to her officers. "We can't just storm in there. We need more information, and we need allies." The decision was made to make discreet inquiries through back channels in the Galactic Council, hoping to glean more information about the Krelthar and possibly rally support. Every step was calculated, the stakes rising with each passing moment. In the meantime, Naira approached Alara with a request. "I want to help," she said, her voice steady. "I know things about the Krelthar, things that might help us." Alara considered her offer. Naira's resolve was evident, and her knowledge could be the key to navigating the dangers that lay ahead. "All right," she agreed. "We'll do this together." As they prepared for what was to come, Alara couldn't shake the feeling that they were only scratching the surface of a much larger plot, one that might have implications not just for the Horizon and its crew, but for the entire galaxy. The bridge of the USS Horizon buzzed with low, urgent conversations as Captain Alara Miles and her team prepared their next moves. With the recon drone's data providing a clearer picture of the Krelthar's operational zone, they understood the gravity of their undertaking. Naira, now a semi-regular presence on the bridge, contributed her intimate knowledge of the Krelthar's tactics and technologies. "Captain, we've established contact with a representative from the Galactic Council's Security Bureau," reported Lieutenant Harrow, his voice low to avoid disturbing the intense focus around them. Alara turned to face him. "And?" "They're cautious, but interested. They've heard rumors about the Krelthar but lack concrete evidence. Our findings could push them to act," Harrow explained. Naira interjected, her tone serious. "The Krelthar are experts at erasing their tracks. Whatever we present must be irrefutable." Alara nodded in agreement. "We'll need more than just images. We need something solid, tangible." The decision was made to deploy a stealth mission to the Krelthar facility. The risks were immense, but the potential rewards, stopping a threat of unknown magnitude, compelled them to act. Naira, familiar with Krelthar security measures, worked closely with the team to plan the operation. In a quiet corner of the ship, Alara briefed a select group of her crew, each chosen for their specific skills and unyielding discretion. "This isn't just another reconnaissance. We're going in to obtain physical evidence of the Krelthar's activities. It's dangerous, and it's voluntary." Each member of the team, without hesitation, confirmed their commitment. The air was thick with resolve and the weight of impending action. As the stealth shuttle departed from the Horizon, cloaked against the vast backdrop of space back on the ship, Alara and her remaining crew monitored every heartbeat of the mission. The stealth technology was their best, but the Krelthar were not simple foes. The shuttle approached the outpost. Inside, the team moved with practiced silence, their steps measured and breaths controlled. Every corner could hide a trap, every shadow a surveillance device. Naira's guidance was invaluable. "Left here. The lab should be up ahead. That's where they conduct most of their experiments," she directed with grim certainty. The lab was a goldmine of information. Samples, data pads, equipment, all far more advanced than anything the Galactic Council possessed. The team worked quickly to gather everything they could carry, documenting the rest with their cams. Just as they were about to withdraw, alarms blared. The outpost was awake, aware of their presence. "Time to go," barked the team leader over the comm. They retraced their steps, the outpost now a hive of activity. Lights flashed, doors slammed, and shouts echoed through the sterile halls. Back at the Horizon, Alara's hands clenched as she watched the situation unfold through her team's helmet cams. The return to the shuttle was harrowing, a breathless, desperate race against the outpost's security forces. With a burst of propulsion, the shuttle broke free from the outpost's gravitational pull, speeding back towards the safety of the Horizon. As the shuttle docked, Alara was there to greet her team, her relief palpable, but her expression tight with concern. "We got what we came for," the team leader reported, handing over a sealed container filled with hard drives and samples. Alara nodded, her eyes sweeping over her team, taking in the fatigue and faint bruises. "Well done. Let's get this information secured and analyzed. Every piece could be the key to stopping the Krelthar. As the Horizon resumed its vigil in the cold, dark space, its crew worked tirelessly. Every data point decrypted, every sample analyzed added layers to their understanding of the Krelthar's intentions and capabilities. It was a race against time to piece together the puzzle before the Krelthar could cover their tracks or, worse, strike out in retaliation. The bridge of the USS Horizon was bathed in the glow of multiple screens, casting sharp shadows across Captain Alara Miles's determined face. With the retrieved data from the Krelthar outpost now being decrypted, the atmosphere was tense, the crew aware of the growing storm on the horizon. "Decrypting the files now, Captain," Ensign Thale announced, his fingers flying over the console. The screens flickered as streams of data flowed, revealing their secrets. Naira stood beside Alara, her eyes fixed on the display. "There!" She pointed at a schematic of a complex biological structure. "That's the core of their biogenetic program. It's not just about enhancing physical abilities. They're altering cognitive functions, trying to create controllable, enhanced soldiers." Alara's brow furrowed in concern. The implications were severe. A force of enhanced soldiers, especially ones who could potentially be controlled remotely, would shift the balance of power in any galactic conflict. "Have we heard back from the Galactic Council?" Alara asked, turning to Harrow. "They're convening a special session to discuss our findings. They want us to present everything we have," he replied. As preparations for the council meeting began, Dr. Lin approached Alara with an update on the biological samples. "I've been able to isolate several compounds that are completely unknown to us. They're synthetic, possibly designed to interact with biological tissues at the molecular level." "Could this be reversed or countered?" Alara questioned, understanding the necessity of finding a weakness in the Krelthar's designs. "Possibly," Dr. Lin responded, her expression thoughtful. "But we would need to develop a new kind of biomedical defense. We're in uncharted territory here." The urgency of the situation was not lost on Alara. She made a decision. "Accelerate the research, Doctor. Whatever resources you need, you'll have." As the day of the council presentation approached, the crew of the Horizon worked without pause. Naira, too, prepared herself to face the council, her unique insight into her captor's methods proving invaluable. The council chamber was a vast, circular room with representatives of various galactic powers seated in a tiered formation. The air was heavy with anticipation and the weight of impending discussions. Alara, accompanied by Naira and Harrow, stood at the center, the recovered data displayed behind them. She began, her voice clear and compelling. "Honored representatives, we stand before you with evidence of a threat unlike any we have encountered. The Krelthar's actions are not just a series of isolated incidents. They are part of a concerted effort to undermine peace and security across our galaxy." Naira took over, her voice steady despite the enormity of the moment. "The Krelthar altered my physiology, my very being, against my will. They seek to replicate this process on a scale that could dominate worlds. Their technology, if left unchecked, could lead to the creation of an unstoppable force." The representatives listened intently, the gravity of the testimony visibly affecting them. Questions followed, probing the depth of the threat and the validity of the claims. Alara and Nira answered each with precision, their arguments backed by irrefutable data. As the session concluded, a murmur of conversations filled the chamber. Alliances formed, strategies debated. The council pledged support, but the real challenge lay ahead, rallying a galaxy to face a hidden enemy, one that had already woven itself into the fabric of countless lives and worlds. Alara, Naira, and Harrow exited the chamber, their expressions a mix of resolve and apprehension. The battle lines were drawn, not just in space, but in the minds and wills of every sentient being who valued freedom over subjugation. The Horizon had ignited a beacon, one that would either summon hope or herald war. As the USS Horizon cut through the void, the stars beyond seemed to watch in silent anticipation of the unfolding drama. The ship, now more than just a vessel of exploration, had become a crucible of galactic diplomacy and conflict. Back on board, Captain Alara Miles stood in the strategy room, surrounded by her senior officers and advisors, including Nira, whose presence had become invaluable. The screens around them were alive with data and communications from various sectors, all responding to the revelations brought before the Galactic Council. "We've received commitments from multiple alliances," Harrow reported, his eyes scanning the incoming messages. "Support is strong, but there's concern about the spread of Krelthar influence. They've been covert, pervasive." Nira, her features marked by both determination and a haunting past, added, "The Krelthar won't be easy to root out. Their network is deep. They could have agents anywhere." Alara acknowledged this with a nod, her mind racing through scenarios. "Then we'll need a coordinated strike, not just military, but informational. We need to expose them, dismantle their operations from within." The strategy evolved, focusing on disrupting the Krelthar's communication networks and supply chains. Dr. Lin had developed a biotechnological countermeasure to the Krelthar's enhancements, a serum that could potentially protect new victims from manipulation and even reverse some effects in those already affected. "Are we ready to deploy the serum?" Alara asked, turning to Dr. Lin. "We've tested it as much as we can under these conditions. It's ready for field trials, and it's effective in preliminary tests," Dr. Lin confirmed, her voice cautious yet hopeful. The Horizon then received a distress call from a nearby system, a potential Krelthar target. "It's a colony on the edge of the Terex Nebula. They're reporting unusual activity and possible Krelthar sightings," Harrow informed urgently. Alara made a swift decision. "Set course for the Terex Nebula. This could be our first real test in disrupting their network." As the ship approached the nebula, the tension among the crew was palpable. They were about to engage an enemy in a way none had done before. Upon arrival, the Horizon dispatched teams to the colony, equipped with Dr. Lin's serum and supported by a squad of specially trained security personnel. The operation was risky, the outcome uncertain, but the Horizon's crew moved with precision and purpose. The colony, a small mining operation, had been under subtle observation by Krelthar agents. The Horizon's intervention was timely. As they administered the serum and secured the area, evidence of Krelthar technology and influence was uncovered, further validating their mission. With the colony secured, Alara addressed her crew, her voice broadcasting throughout the ship. "Today we've taken a significant step not just in defending a colony, but in asserting our resolve against a shadow that seeks to darken our stars. This is but the first of many actions we will take to protect our galaxy." The news of their success spread quickly, bolstering the morale of their allies and igniting a flame of resistance across other systems. The Horizon's mission had evolved from exploration to a crusade against a hidden tyranny. As the ship resumed its journey, now towards another potential Krelthar hotspot, Alara and Nira stood side by side on the bridge, looking out at the vast expanse. "We've started something that can't be undone," Alara mused, her eyes reflecting the starlight. Nira nodded, her expression resolute. "And we will see it through together." The stars seemed to agree, their light a chorus of silent support as the USS Horizon sailed onward, a beacon of hope and defiance in the boundless night.